Good Saturday morning, everybody. It's Trevor Thompson, the self-appointed Looney Tunes critic, in here with you. And today we are watching Baby Buggy Bunny. And this is a request. That's right. The requests are coming hard and fast and strong and all sorts of other words that could be reinterpreted as porno. But yes, this is a request from Connor Morris. So Connor, we finally got to it. Here it is. Enjoy. This is the era. This is like mid-50s is like probably my favorite time period for the Jones unit, or as he rather pretentiously referred to it as Unit A. Which, it's pretentious because there's no, first of all, it's not like it's the Clampett unit, it's the McKimson unit, it's the Freeling unit, and then the Jones unit calls themselves Unit A, which is, like if you're trying to be funny about it, be like, we're Unit Z, with the last, the bottom of the, something like that. But yeah, this era, the Chuck's unit, certainly, look at these backgrounds. This is Maurice Noble at his greatest. Phil DeGard, and also just Chuck was really experimental with his character poses and these shapes, and just that's something right there where he grabs the money. I remember when I was a kid, you would see that a lot. People have paper or money or something in their arms that's valuable, and they greedily grab it and they run off camera, and then you see it trailing behind. I was like, man, you're dropping it or whatever. And then, of course, Bugs grabs it. I remember seeing that and going, yep, that's realistic. This must have really happened. And I get the feeling like this premise, the idea that a little person would pretend to be a baby so that they could get away with murder, basically. I feel like the premise is a really good one, and like Frank Tashlin could have made a whole movie out of it, I don't know who they would have used, what actor, but certainly if they were to make it as a movie today, somebody like Vern Troyer, who plays Mini-Me in the Austin Powers movies, he could pull that off. Or in fact, who else could Peter Dinklage could pull it off. I know he looks like a full-grown adult, with the exception of the size of his limbs and all that, and his body. But that doesn't change the fact that Peter Dinklage is one of the greatest actors ever. So he could do it. He could absolutely do it. And this cartoon doesn't get a lot of play on the air because it was hard to justify in the 90s and the 80s, especially a cartoon where Bugs is seen. You got to remember, this is the 50s, and in the 50s, shaking babies was totally fine. Babies that were thought, they weren't as fragile, back then either. They were made of heart and soul and flesh, but also formica. So yeah, shaking babies back in the day was, you just had to do it. It was the easiest way to calm a crying baby, is to shake the ever-loving bejesus out of them. But of course now in the PC world, you can't shake a baby. My goodness. What's this world coming to, I ask you? Look at those poses. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he just Chuck, the energy and the shapes and the forms, and he was very abstract, but at no point does Bugs not feel like a solid character or anything like that. It's I also like the idea that Bugs has a his like hallway and guest bedrooms and everything like that. It's not just a hole in the ground in this cartoon. It's like a, I don't know, what do you call it, like a townhouse or something, an underground townhouse. But yeah, this is where it gets tough to play on network television, because all this stuff with the being violent. If you're flipping through the channels and out of nowhere you just see Bugs shaking a baby, I can imagine as a parent, and putting him in the laundry and all that. I can imagine a parent getting upset about that. Not that I agree with that. I'm just saying that, if I was a parent, I would be overly sensitive, as indeed a lot of parents are. Although I have to say, my parents were not of the opinion that violence in cartoons was something that would cause me or my sister even to be violent. And the joke is on them, though. My sister has actually slaughtered an entire Cambodian village. I don't know what cartoon it was that my sister watched where she decided that the Cambodians had to just, she was out for blood with them. But also, I think cursive writing needs to come back, don't you? See how it says state prison? You see how you can easily read that with the print? Yeah, that's silly. Why do that? What? I never understood that as a kid. Why teach us cursive? It's just laziness. Anyway, this was a good cartoon, and it really deserves a lot more airplay. So yeah, Connor, hope you enjoyed that request. And if you want to make a request, send it to this email.